Warning! The following video demands that you leave a like and consider subscribing. It's free. Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another Gmod, Bendy, and the Dark Revival review video. Yes guys, that's right, we are back with another Bendy and the Dark Revival review video because the player model pack has been updated once again. So I've already made two other videos on this player model pack, so if you've not seen those videos, go check them out so that way, you know, you're all caught up. But anyways, this player model pack has been updated quite a couple times. So in the first video, when we checked out this player model pack, we got a nice little look at our little Bendy buddy and the Ink Demon, Audrey. Yes, that's right, Mr. Ink Demon. In part 2, we checked out Audrey. And today we are back with another review video because we got how many? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got 11 new characters added. So there's been some major updates for this pack coming out, and we got 11 brand new characters. So yeah, anyways, like the very start of this video said, this video does contain spoilers for Bendy and the Dark Revival, but I'm sure all of you guys know by now. Besides, the game's been out for like a week now. So yeah, this is the last video where I'm giving off warnings for Bendy and the Dark Revival. So yeah, there's that little fun fact. But yes guys, that is correct. This is a update to the previous pack I have been reviewing. So if you've not already got the Bendy and the Dark Revival player model pack, go ahead and get it now. The link is in the description below. And I did get word from the Addon Creator that soon there will be a part 2 add-on coming out soon where it will introduce more characters from Bendy and the Dark Revival. So yeah, anyways, we got a ton of characters to check out in this video, and yes, every single character that you see here is a player model in Gmod. I'm not going to become every single character because that would take way too long. I would physically die. No pun intended. Now, without any further delays, let's go ahead and hop straight into today's review video. So, first up we got is our boy Wilson. Look at our buddy old pal. So, Wilson is the main villain in Bendy and the Dark Revival. Well, is he the main villain? I mean, there's him and then the Ink Demon. Guys, who's the better villain, Wilson or the Ink Demon? Okay, honestly, the Ink Demon's definitely 10 times better than Wilson. I'm not gonna lie, Wilson, he's a pretty bad villain. Like, when you come to think about, Wilson was the person who got Audrey into the cartoon world of Joey Drew, and we find out at the end of the game the reason why Wilson wants Audrey there is to use her soul to power a brand new ink monster that can defeat the Ink Demon. Well, he's a little lacking some brain cells, even though he's got a huge forehead. Dang, bro, he can land like 3 planes on that head. But yeah, Wilson pretty much watches over Audrey throughout the entire game. But, I mean, you would think, like, right as he sent Audrey into the Ink Demon world, you know, don't you think he would have, you know, imprisoned her and then just thrown her into the machine, you know, that would chop her up and stuff? But no, he doesn't. He just lets her go on her own little adventure. And then at the very end, when he tries to pull her into the contraption, he slips on a Lego and falls in and dies. Like, bro, this villain, you kind of suck. But anyways, this is Wilson, and I do have to say his design is very, very creepy. So Wilson, he is our homeboy janitor. So he's got a nice little name tag right here, which, you know, has his little profile icon, has his name Wilson, and says that he's a janitor. So yeah, here's Wilson the janitor. So I have to give him respect for being a janitor and stuff. You know, it's not easy being a janitor. But yeah, this is Wilson, and also he does have one fake eyeball. So that's not creepy at all. On the back of his shirt, he does have a nice little picture of Archgate Pictures. So yeah, Wilson works for Archgate Pictures as the janitor, and we find out at the end of the game, the head creator of Archgate is Wilson's father, which you know, it's kind of concerning. Like, so your father is the owner of this humongous. Why can't I English? My father So Wilson's father is the creator of Archgate Pictures. He was the founder, but then his son Wilson here is the janitor. Wow, poor buddy. Yeah, you know, because at the end it's like Wilson wants to, get revenge on his father and stuff. I can kind of understand now why he kind of, wants revenge, because, how would you feel if your father was the head of a super popular company and he decides to make you a janitor? Yeah, I'd be a little upset too. But anyways, this is Wilson's human form, and I gotta say, he actually does work out pretty well for a villain, being creepy. Sure, he doesn't have all the big brain cells and all the smart plays, but I think he was an okay villain. I gotta say, I definitely do prefer the Ink Demon over Wilson. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Who is the better villain, the Ink Demon or Wilson? I personally have to go with the Ink Demon. I'm not gonna lie, Wilson, you're a little smelly. But with Wilson's model, you can actually go and change his skin into the cartoon version of Wilson. So he's still wearing the exact same outfit, and this is kind of cool to see the transition from the human world to the cartoon world with people transporting in between. So this is what Wilson normally looks like in the human world, but right as he goes into the cartoon world, he looks like this, and he's still wearing the exact same clothes. He still even has his lucky keys on him. I will say the thing I find really freaky is now his fake eyeball is his real eyeball now in the ink world. I don't know, it hurts my brain. It's a little trippy, but I gotta say, it's kind of creepy how his fake eye now glows. So it's like him seeing into the cartoon world or something. I don't know, it's just glowy. Ooh, ah! But anyways, that's pretty much it for Wilson. So I have to say, he's definitely not my favorite Bendy in the Dark Revival character, but he's definitely not my least favorite character, so I have to give him some props. Also, one quick funny fun fact about this guy: did you guys know that the voice actor who plays Wilson in Bendy in the Dark Reviver, what the heck is... How do I almost have 1 million subscribers, but I keep butchering up my words every other video? I don't understand. But anyways, the same voice actor who plays Wilson also played Nightmare Freddy in Ultimate Custom Night. So that's a fun little fact if you didn't know. So I thought that was pretty cool. So Wilson is actually Nightmare Freddy confirmed. Okay, I just realized something. So this has nothing to do with the player model pack, but before we move on to the next person, I just realized something. These stairs are not connected to the floor on this map. What is this sorcery? Ink Demon, what'd you do? Audrey! Yeah, this hurts my brain. Well, this is a very old map, so I guess that makes sense. Next up in line we got is our boy Porter. So this is Porter. He is a lost one, but as you can see, he's all decked out. So Porter here, he ain't gonna be moping around like all the other lost ones. He's ready for adventure. So he's got some fancy goggles, he's got a nice little rope and a grappling hook. So yeah, this guy is flying all over the place, and we've learned throughout the game he actually has a superpower that turns him into the Flash. So Porter, he can just be chilling around and stuff, and all of a sudden he's like, bada bing bada boom. Yeah, that actually happens in the game. So he's actually a pretty cool guy. Now, unlike Wilson here, I actually don't really have that much to say about Porter. If you are curious, he does have a body grip, and you can toggle the grappling hook. So that way, if you don't want it dangling in the way, you can just get that out of the way. But that's pretty much the only body grip Porter has here. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for Porter. I don't really have that much to say about Porter. Whenever I played through Bendy in the Dark Revival, I personally did not see him that much throughout my gameplay experience. There is only the time whenever you encounter him where he gives you his power, and then at the very end of the game as well. So that's like the only times I really got to see Porter. So he's a pretty cool guy, pretty goofy. But I just wish we would have, got to see more of him, which I'm sure there probably was other secrets and stuff. Because again, I only played through the main game of Bendy in the Dark Revival, so obviously there are secrets and stuff that I personally have probably missed throughout the game and stuff. So let me know in the comments if there's any other points in the game where we see Porter besides the part where he gives Audrey his power and at the end of the game. Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious about that. Anyways, next up, we are moving on to some characters that were originally in Bendy and the Ink Machine, but are back for Bendy and the Dark Revival. So first up we got is Alice Angel. So Alice is back. She pretty much has the exact same look as she did from the original game, but she has gotten a makeover, and her model looks a million times better. So I do have to say, all of the new models of all the old characters from Bendy and the Ink Machine look fantastic. I love all of the newer versions so much. Speaking of the old models, we can actually do a bit of a comparison. So this is what Alice used to look like in the original Bendy and the Ink Machine game, and this is what she looks like in Bendy and the Dark Revival. So I gotta say her newer model definitely looks a million times more realistic, because like with her original model, if you like look at her mouth and stuff, you can see her teeth are just textures on like a smooth surface, while on her new model, her teeth are actually modeled, and makes it more creepy and stuff. So I had to say, in Alice Angel's part, whenever she kidnaps Audrey and stuff, whenever she looks at you at the side when she's talking, that is just disturbing right there. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, talk about gums. But anyways, I don't really have that much to say about Alice Angel, to be honest. I mean, because again, she looks pretty much like how she did from the original game, but she's just got more polish and stuff. So I gotta say, her model definitely looks so much better than from the original game. But besides that, she doesn't have any body groups or skins. So that's actually pretty much it for Alice Angel. So still pretty creepy, and maybe one day she'll be beautiful. Actually, yeah, if you just look that way, boom, there you go. She's beautiful now. Speaking of angels, next up we have is Allison Angel. So here's Allison, or aka Allison Pendle, or Allison Connor. She has many last names. So yeah, Bendy characters get really confusing, because you got two Alices, two Borises, and it just it melts my brain. But with Allison Angel, I don't really have too much to say about her. I do gotta say, I love to see her having a ton of screen time throughout the sequel, so it was really good to see Allison pop up here and there throughout the game. But just like Alice Angel, she looks the exact same as how she did from the original game, but obviously, it's a new model, so obviously she's got new polish and stuff. And again, love her new model over the old model as well. So here's a little comparison. So this is what Alice Angel looked like in Bendy and the Ink Machine, and then this is what she looks like in Bendy and the Dark Revival. So again, I gotta say, gotta go with that brand new model. It looks a million times better than the old one. So yeah, there you go. Anyways, just like Alice Angel, no body groups, no skins. It's pretty much the exact same throughout all the rest of these characters, except for like one or two of them. So pretty much the rest of these characters don't have any body groups or skins, but we got these pretty cool looking models. Also, one more thing I would have to point out with Allison here is, well, with this player model, her hair is just in like a T-pose form, so her hair is just sticking up. So, here, Tom, I'm gonna tickle you with my straight hair. Tickle, 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 tickle. Bruh. So yeah, for right now, Allison's hair is in stiffy mode. It would be kind of cool if we get an update to this player model pack in the future where it adds jiggle physics to the hair, kind of like how the security breach player models have it, like especially with Roxanne's hair and stuff, how it all flows and stuff. It would be kind of cool if we got that with Allison and Alice Angel's hair. But for right now, it is in stiffy mode. I think we can fix it with the advanced bone tool. Did I just say advanced bone pool? What is wrong with me today? Alright, so yeah, so if you grab your advanced bone tool, you can actually change the direction of the ponytail, and you can actually make it look down. So that way, she looks pretty normal. So there you go. Easy fix, 10 out of 10. That's still smash. Next up we got is Tom. Now Tom definitely had one of the major changes compared to all of the original Bendy and the Ink Machine characters that got brought over to Bendy and the Dark Revival. So here is Tom. I gotta say, I absolutely love Tom's design, but as you can see, he's definitely different than compared to his original version in Bendy and the Ink Machine. So if we spawn in his original model, this is what Tom looked like in Bendy and the Ink Machine, and you can tell that he's gone through some stuff. So yeah, so first things first, we got his robotic arm. So I gotta say, I love how he has a robotic arm. I think that's super cool, gives him personality and stuff. But one thing that is very interesting is with his original model, with how he originally looked in Bendy and the Ink Machine, it was his lower arm down that has been cut off and replaced with a robotic arm. But as you can see, he still has his upper arm, but with this brand new model, his full arm is now a robotic arm. So very interesting. It looks like Tom had a bit of an upgrade again. And also, as you can see, Tom definitely looks very roughed up. He's got scratches all over his face, his ear is cut in half, and he looks like he's gotten into some major fights and stuff. And also his overalls are torn, he's got ink splatters and tears in his pants. So yeah, Tom has been in a bit of a fight, and it makes sense. At the very start of the game, when Audrey meets Allison, Allison says, "Sorry, I can't help you, I gotta go save my wolf." So it seems like Tom, at the very beginning of Bendy and the Dark Revival, got himself in a sticky situation, but luckily luckily Allison went and saved him, but as you can see, that situation definitely roughed him up. So I don't know, guys, what do you think happened to Tom at the start of the game? Do you think he got into a fight with the ink demon or somebody? It had to be somebody with claws, because his face is all clawed up and stuff. So yeah, Tom has been through hell and back, literally, because they're all basically trapped in Bendy's hell. But I do have to say, all the scars, all the scratches, all the tears and stuff definitely do fit Tom's personality in Bendy and the Dark Revival, because, you know, Tom's a tough guy, you know, and it really does show that for him. Also, this is very good because it also helps distinct his character from Boris. So it makes him look a little less like Boris and actually gives him his own personality and stuff. And if you guys do not know, yes, Boris is in Bendy and the Dark Revival. Throughout my entire stream, I was so upset. I'm like, oh, we never got to see Boris. You know, our friendly Boris from Bendy and the Ink Machine Chapter 3. You know, we never got to see him again, but he is in the game. At the very start of the game, right before we walk into Heavenly Toys, we see a figure walk across the screen. Now, when I played through the game, I originally thought it was Sammy Lawrence, because I thought it was a reference to Chapter 2 when Sammy walks past Henry in the hallway and stuff, but it's actually Boris, because some people found out if you go out of bounds and stuff and get early access to the scene, you can actually see Boris the Wolf standing on the other side of the door, and it's not Tom, it is the original Boris from Chapter 3. So Boris is in Bendy and the Dark Revival. He just does not have a major role, but apparently there are Easter eggs of original Boris throughout the studio and stuff, so I do think we will be getting the Boris model in Garry's Mod super soon, maybe in the part 2 pack of the player model pack. So hopefully we get Boris, and we also get to see Borkus as well. If you guys don't know what Borkus is, basically it's like the Sin version of Boris. Over here we got Bendy, you know, you can change his skin, and boom, we got this creepy version of Bendy. There's a creepy version of Boris as well, which is tied to that original Boris model. So I really do hope we get to see original Boris get added to this pack in a future update. But anyways, out of all of the original Bendy and the Ink Machine models that have been remade for Bendy and the Dark Revival, I gotta say Tom here is definitely one of my favorite remakes, because, you know, he's got a lot more personality on his character now. So I gotta say he's very good. And also, you can pet the good boy too. Pet Tom. Tom, why do you let Audrey pet you and not Henry? What did Henry do to you? Speaking of Henry, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Henry Stein. Yes, we finally get to see what Henry looks like in Bendy and the Dark Revival. So here is Henry, everybody. Oh my gosh. So before we talk about his model and stuff, I have to say, when Audrey meets Henry in Bendy and the Dark Revival, that is my favorite scene from the entire game. So as you guys know, Henry right here, he was the main character we played as in Bendy and the Ink Machine, and then in Bendy and the Dark Revival we play as Audrey. And the scene where Audrey meets Henry is so meaningful to me, because it's both of the main characters coming together and they talk about their problems. And also you get to see how far Henry has fallen, because when we see Henry in Bendy and the Dark Revival, he's just completely lost hope. He's given up. But as you can see, even when somebody else asks him for help, he still gets back up and he's still willing to lend a helping hand. So I gotta say, I absolutely loved Henry's character in Bendy and the Ink Machine, because at the start of Bendy and the Ink Machine, Henry's all jolly and stuff. He's like, oh boy, time to go back to the studio. But then at the very end of the game, especially in Chapter 5, you can tell that Henry's voice is definitely different. Like, he's lost hope, he is tired, he's exhausted, he just wants this to be over with. So, yeah, and also you can easily see that he's gone even further in Bendy and the Dark Revival, lost even more hope, completely gone and stuff. But then at the very end of the game, Henry comes back and he's all jolly again and able to help Audrey put an end and restart the cycle to, you know, set everyone free. Now, I have to say, I personally love Henry's model, but I do know a lot of people out there do say that they are a bit iffy about how Henry looks in Bendy and the Dark Revival, and I can kind of see why. So Henry, he does look a little strange and stuff, because Henry is a human, but he's a cartoon human in a cartoon world. So that is why I honestly think Henry does look a little off, because, you know, when you think of a human, you don't think of somebody who's basically, you know, just solid yellow and brown and stuff like that. You know, he looks kind of smelly, I'm not gonna lie. But you have to remember that this is in the cartoon world, and like how we saw with Wilson, this is how Wilson looks like in the cartoon world. And you can see Wilson does look a little off and stuff, but when you change his skin, he's actually, you know, in his human form. You know, he's got that pale white skin and stuff. You know, he looks more human, he's got more color and stuff into him. So that's why I think Henry does look off, especially to some people, because, you know, he doesn't have any unique colors to him and stuff. And also it kind of goes with his character as well, makes him look kind of dead and stuff inside. You know, kind of lost hope, pretty much drained and stuff. You can also tell, like, if you look at his eyes, he looks completely tired, just like me trying to do YouTube at 24/7 and the pain never stops. Oh wait, I get it, it's an endless cycle. Depression. But anyways, if anyone is curious, no, Henry does not have any skins. So I do think it would be super cool, which I honestly do think somebody out there will eventually make a new version of Henry, basically a retextured of him. Basically kind of like how Wilson here, how he has his human version and then his cartoon version. I do think somebody is going to make a human version texture of Henry, so that way you can actually kind of see what Henry would look like if he was in the real world. Now, something else to keep in mind as well, with what I understand with the story of Bendy and the Dark Revival, this is apparently not the real Henry Stein. This is a remake of Henry Stein. So what I understand from the game Bendy and the Dark Revival, we learn that once upon a time there was the real Joey Drew and the real Henry Stein, and they came together to create Bendy and make some animation studios and stuff like that. But then the real Henry Stein was like, "Alright bro, I'm gonna go have a family, see you later Mr. Drew, I'm out of here," and we never see him ever again. And the real Joey Drew, he was very upset, he was crying, he's like, "No, my best friend's gone, he was a meanie, he left me, and I'm gonna blame him for all my problems. He probably started World War II. So I'm gonna go over here, gonna go work on my ink machine, and I'm gonna make a cartoon world," which is where Bendy and the Ink Machine and Bendy and the Dark Revival take place, in a beautiful cartoon world. So the cartoon world is different from the real world, and in Joey's cartoon world that he has created, he creates his own version of Henry, which is this beautiful guy, Cartoon Henry. Because it's also very interesting throughout the game and stuff, like this guy is kind of referred to as Henry, not really Henry Stein, which I always thought that was kind of interesting, because the only time we see Henry Stein, or Stein's name, is either from Joey himself or from the real world, like how we see on the picture frame, but we never see Henry introduce himself as Henry Stein. He's always like, "Hi, I'm Henry, nice to meet you." So there's that. So anyways, long story short, basically this is Cartoon Henry, a remake of the original real life Henry, but real Henry just ran away and probably has no idea that any of this stuff is going on. And I don't even know if this theory is correct, that this is Cartoon Henry, not the real Henry Stein. That means the real Henry Stein could be out there in the real world somewhere, or or he could actually be dead, because the real life Joey Drew, he's dead, but we do see a cartoon version of Joey Drew in the studio and stuff. So this is like Cartoon Henry. So I feel like maybe if the real life Joey Drew is dead, probably real life Henry Stein is also dead, or he's just super old, because real life Joey Drew, he died when he was 70, and we know it's been a couple years since Joey Drew's death. So I guess that also means real life Henry Stein could also be dead or still out there if this is a cartoon remake of Henry, which I do believe is correct, because that is exactly what we hear in the bit of a flashback storyboard scene where cartoon Joey Drew tells us about how he made a cartoon version of Henry. So yeah, so again, I do think this is not the real Henry Stein, but this is the same Henry that we do play as in Bendy and the Ink Machine, and that we see in Bendy and the Dark Revival. So yeah, very interesting. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are about Henry in the comments down below. I'm really interested to see if anybody has any other theories out there. But I hope that me just shooting out some ideas helps clear some stuff up, because I did see a lot of people get really confused about Henry and Bendy and the Dark Revival, and that is my personal thought. So I don't know, I could be wrong, it is just a theory after all, so you know, they're never perfect. But again, I do have to say, I do love Henry's design in Bendy and the Dark Revival, and again, I know people do think his model does look weird, but again, I think it is because it's the cartoon version of him, and not like the real life human version where he's all colorful and stuff like Wilson over here. here. So yeah, but anyways, I gotta say I love seeing Henry and Bendy in the Dark Revival, and again, when we meet Henry, that is definitely my favorite scene in Bendy in the Dark Revival. I will say my second favorite scene is when we meet little Bendy when he's holding the choo-choo train. So yeah, gotta always love little Bendy, you know. How could you? Oh, I forgot he's creepy right now. Anyways, sorry for that super long talk about Henry. I think it's time we finally move on to our next characters. So I hope you guys were fine with me talking about Henry and stuff. Henry is my favorite character from Bendy and the Ink Machine / Bendy in the Dark Revival, by the way. So you know, I just gotta, you know, acknowledge him. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. So next up, we have some more characters from the original gang, the Butcher Gang. Did I just say from the original gang? I meant game. I can't English, bro. I swear, there's going to be a counter in the comment section about how many times I've screwed up my English. Did I say comic? Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Did I say... Ah! So anyways, we got the Butcher Gang. So we got Fisher, we got Striker, we got Piper, and we have the new member, Slicer, which is also named Carly. So I did not like Carly throughout the game. Bro, Carly was definitely super scary, but the model name is named Slicer, which I think that's kind of good, because it, you know, it fits in with the Butcher Gang, because she's supposed to be the 4th Butcher Gang member. So I gotta say, the Butcher Gang definitely did have a glow up for Bendy in the Dark Revival. In the original game, they were kind of meh, I'm not gonna lie, but in Bendy in the Dark Revival, oh my gosh, these guys got a major upgrade, and they were a million times scarier. Like, look at Piper over here. I gotta say, out of all the Butcher Gang members, Piper definitely looks the best, looks the scariest in my honest opinion. Yeah. So anyways, we got Fisher. So with Fisher right here, you know, obviously his name is Fisher because, you know, his head is attached by a fishing pole. So that's not concerning at all. So out of all these characters, surprisingly, Fisher is the only one that has a body group. So Fisher here, he is holding a hook, which is not concerning at all. So I feel like he's probably going to stab us with that hook. But with his body groups, you can actually toggle the hook. And that is the only body group he has. So yeah. So anyways, this is Fisher. And yeah, again, very concerning character. So yeah, definitely gotta say all the Butcher Gang members that were originally in the first game definitely got a major glow up. So yeah, there's Fisher. I don't really got much to say about him. He's still got that nice little liar sign on him. So I guess he's a liar. I don't really know, to be honest. Next up we got is Striker. Now I gotta say, Striker did scare me a lot throughout the game. Basically, in Bendy in the Dark Revival, all around the place there would be random holes in the ceiling, and if you walked underneath them, this little guy would jump on top of you and attack you. So I gotta say, he had a great mechanic, always made you feel unsafe, and also if you ever forgot about the holes and you ever walked underneath one, it would just scare the living heck out of you. So yeah, but anyways, here's Striker, pretty much the exact same from the original game, but obviously, you know, his model's been upgraded and stuff, you know, got that more glow up, more realistic vibes to him, and he's still got his nice little grapple hand that he can shoot out at you. So yeah, you know, he's gonna shoot his arm out, he's gonna go kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. He's so cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Striker. I don't really have that much to say about him. Next up we got is Piper. So here's Piper. He does not have any body groups or skins either. I gotta say though, one thing I thought was very interesting is that in the original game, on his foot right here, he's actually missing a leg right here. So he's got kind of a bit of a peg leg, or in this case, he's got a pipe leg. But in the original game, it wasn't a pipe, it was actually a plunger. So I thought that's very interesting. From Bendy and the Ink Machine, Piper, he had a plunger leg, but in Bendy and the Dark Revival, he actually has a pipe leg, which I guess that makes sense because, you know, it fits in with his name, the Piper. So yeah, this guy is scary. I can see all the way down his throat. Please close your mouth. You don't want a fly to fly in there now, do ya? Oh yeah, he's also missing one of his hands, and you can see his exposed bone. Huh, that's not concerning at all. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Piper. Again, don't really got much to say about the original Butcher Gang, but it's really cool to see them return, and I gotta say, they are definitely a million times scarier in Bendy and the Dark Revival than what they were in Bendy and the Ink Machine. Anyways, we got our final Butcher Gang member, the 4th member, or aka the cancelled / scrapped character, Carly, aka Slicer. So yeah, so since this character was canceled, they were a bit of like a hallucination throughout the game and stuff, and I gotta say, definitely the scariest one of them all. I'm not gonna lie. So Slicer here, you know, just while you're walking down the hall, you're going doop a doop a doop. All of a sudden, this character would pop out of nowhere, and yeah, you would have to look away. But most of the time, whenever I saw this character, my immediate reaction would be to hit it, and then after I hit it, I'm like, oh wait, I'm not supposed to do that, and then I would get attacked, and that would never be fun. But I will admit, Slicer's design here is definitely really creepy, and they have the nickname Slicer because of their sharp hands. Basically, their fingers are blades. So yeah, that's not concerning whatsoever. So yeah, so anyways, this is Slicer. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all of the Butcher Gang members. Again, just like everyone else, she does not have any body groups or skins. So yeah, so anyways, guys, let me know in the comments down below, who is your favorite member of the Butcher Gang, including Slicer? Is it Fisher, Striker, Piper, or is it this demonic thing? Like, bro, I swear, if you play through Bendy in the Dark Revival, and if you did not get scared by this character, you are not a real human being. I'm not gonna lie, this thing was terrifying. So yeah, but anyways, I think it's time we finally move on to our next Die! Freak, I hate you! I hate you! Go die! Go get out of here! Go, oh my gosh, be gone! Be gone! I hate you! Get out of here! I never want to see you ever again. I hate that character. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, I have to admit, that is definitely one of the scariest things in the entire game. I freaking hate that. Oh my gosh. Anyways, we actually do have one more character to check out before we can end off this video, and this is one character that is not on this stage. Does anyone have any guesses for who this final character could be? That's right, everyone give a nice warm welcome, or a nice big old drum roll for Big Steve! Ta-da! So yes, that is right, Big Steve is also in this pack. So if you guys don't know who Big Steve is, basically he's a giant ink monster we meet in Bendy in the Dark Revival. And we actually do get to see him at the very end of the game when Audrey is mixed with the ink demon and she's trying to, you know, insert the end reel into the projector and stuff. As she's walking on over there, we get some help from Allison and Tom. And Tom is actually riding Big Steve here, and he goes and obliterates the lost one. So yeah, this is Big Steve. You know, he's a friendly guy, but you know, he'll eat anything, and I mean anything. So yeah, and also there is also a nice little like mini game or like an extra scene with Big Steve where you have to go and do a quest for him, which I actually never got to do that quest when I played through Bendy in the Dark Revival. But basically, if you feed something to Big Steve, he'll move out of the way for ya. So yeah, so anyways, that's Big Steve. Now I don't think he has any body groups. Nope, he does not. But I gotta say, it's really cool to see him in this player model pack. And yes, guys, that is right. Again, all of these are also player models, not only Ragdolls, but they are also player models. So we can become any of these characters you see on screen, including Big Steve. We can actually become Big Steve. So if we go ahead and type up our boy Steve, we can become, oh, this is Minecraft Steve. We can become Big Steve. Now let's go over to the stage. Fee fi fo fum, I am Big Steve. Fee fi fo fum. I gotta say, this guy is super cool, and he actually does have some jiggle physics as well with some of his parts and stuff. So I gotta say that is super cool. So here's Big Steve. Hooray! I'm a happy guy. Oh, there's no snacks. Anyways, guys, that is the end of today's review video. I know this was a super long video, so I just want to go ahead and say thanks to you for sticking to the very end. That means so much to me. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments who was your favorite character from this review video. And yeah, also let me know in the comments down below, who would you want to see get added to the player model pack next, who hasn't already been added. So for me, I gotta say, I want to see OG Boris. Player model people, I know you're watching this video, give me him now, give me him now. Anyways, that's it for today's video. If you guys do want to see another review on this pack when it gets updated again, make sure to leave a like on this video and let me know down in the comments below that you guys do want to see more Bendy in the Dark Revival review videos. So yeah, anyways, hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Oh, I was gonna. What the heck was that ending?